Hi, I'm Michty Maxx, and I'm here to share this Get Ready With Me makeup for the Iron Maiden gig. This makeup is inspired by the album cover Brave New World, because it is up there with my favorite albums and the artwork is really awesome. For other rock and metal band inspired makeup, check the card and description box. First I primed my eyes with Too Faced Shadow Insurance, going all around the eye. Then I have the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly on a Sigma P82 Precision Round brush to neutralize the lid area and mute any discoloration. I also pat that in with my finger to smooth it out. On the Sigma E50 Large Fluff brush, I pick up Strange from the Naked 3 palette to highlight the brow bone and set the paint pot all across there. Back to the palette, but this time I'm picking up Limit on the Sigma E25 blending brush and generally running that through my socket and up into the crook under my eyebrow. Here I have Makeup Geek Petal Pusher, and I'm using that on the same brush to deepen up the transition shade and flesh out the socket shape further. I'm focusing on the inner area some more as well. Moving on to the Sigma E32 Exact Blend brush and getting into it with Sugar Pill Poison Plum to slowly build up that purple shade in my crease. As this shade is hard to work with, I'm taking my time and starting by just getting the color on there, dabbing it on and using this dense brush. Back to my transition color to have a go at the edges, and then I'm using more purple eyeshadow to create a pointed and angular outer corner shape. This particular color can be a bit of a bitch, but it's really beautiful, so I put up with it. For dense, colorful crease work, it's easier to press on the shadow and then just try to blend out the edges with a soft blending brush and your transition shade. And I buffed out the inner corner with Petal Pusher. Once I've got the shape and blending all sorted out, I went in to deepen the crease with Sugar Pill Velocity and the Sigma E47 Shader Crease brush. I took the blue throughout the whole crease to make the red toned Poison Plum pull more towards a bluish purple color, and went back in to press on more Poison Plum with the Exact Blend brush over the top to merge the colors. I have Makeup Geek Stealth, which I'm taking on the same little pointed brush to add more depth, and I went in with the Sigma E36 Tiny Blending brush for a more diffused application. To really get the darkness up there, I have yet another Makeup Geek eyeshadow called Corrupt, and I'm applying that all the way through the crease and the outer corner, following the pointed up shape. I grabbed that tiny fluffy blending brush and added more blue Velocity and purple Poison Plum through the crease so the black doesn't conquer the whole look, and also to make sure it's blended out. I was having some patchiness problems, so I repeated some of the steps since the matte shadows can be hard to cajole into what you want. I'm mixing all these different eyeshadows together to match up with the cover artwork colors, so it's a bit of a process. And to get the best result, I always layer the transition shade over the edge and blend down the crease with the brow highlight. Coming to play is Makeup Geek Unexpected, and I'm swirling the soft blending brush up into the inner crook of my eye. I did a little crease work to touch up, and I'm squaring off that shape, but not taking it too far into the nose bridge, then intensifying the underbrow with Stealth eyeshadow, still using that fluffy brush. Next, I'm taking the blue cream from the Makeup Forever Flash palette and dabbing it onto my mobile lid space, nice and even up to the crease, and then pulling out Gonzo from the Electric palette on the Sigma E57 shader brush for the outer corner. I dipped the same brush into Sugar Pill Velocity for a base shade on the rest of my eyelid and ran back to Gonzo to merge it into the edge for a nice gradient. I blended the lid into the crease a little and pulled out the Sleek Acid palette to grab this medium blue, still on that shader brush, to layer over Velocity to add to the shine. I took the very shimmery bright blue from the Acid palette and smoothed it over the inner third of my eye, brightening up the inner piece and blending it across. I went back to Corrupt on the pointed blending brush to deepen the outer corner and bringing more darkness through the crease. And then with my patented blend of Corrupt Velocity and Poison Plum, I smoothed out the crease with the little fluffy brush to keep that deep purple in there. And I'm blending that all the way to the inner crease. I cleaned off the fallout under my eye and sharpened up the eyeshadow shape with a makeup wipe. I freed my tear duct from any product with a cotton bud as well. Now for some jiggling cottage cheese for that inner corner to lay down a base for the MAC Vellum eyeshadow, and I applied the duochromatic blue shadow onto there with a Sigma E30 pencil brush, flicking it up into the inner crease and the beginning of the lid. I blended the edge out with some Strange eyeshadow and diffused it with the transition shade brush, making sure it was where it was supposed to be. I have Inglot Matte Gel Eyeliner in number 77, and I'm applying it to my tight line with a pointed cotton bud. I'm dotting the same product along my outer lash line, and I'm smudging it out with the Makeup Geek pencil brush for a hazy eyeliner effect. I blurred the edge of the liner into the outer corner of the eyeshadow with more of the blue and cocktail of shades. I made sure the gel eyeliner was right into the roots of the lashes, and grabbed the matte black eyeshadow on the Sigma E15 flat definer brush to press along the lash line, darkening that up and fading it into the crease. I messed with the outer corner and darkened it up some more, keeping the flow with the liner and shadow up into the crease. Then back to the Inglot gel eyeliner, which I dragged across my waterline and smudged into my lashes with cotton buds. Now for the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Electric Blue, which served as my inner third eyeshadow base, and I completed the lower lid with the green cream from the Makeup Forever Flash Palette, blending out the edges with clean cotton buds. I ran the stiff pencil brush along the lash lines so the black flowed into the colors and touched up the green that got blended away. Back to the Acid palette and that bright blue, which I pressed over the inner third with the tip of the Firm Shadow brush, and I followed that up with the khaki green color to set the green base. Then I buffed that into the blue and downwards with a large fluff brush. To match the blue of the water, I layered the Sugar Pill pigment in styling across the lower lid, and I merged the tear duct highlight across with more vellum on the E30 pencil brush for a cohesive feel. I played with the blue colors a bit to get the shade I wanted, using the Acid palette and Electric palette shadows. And to define the eye further, I traced some Corrupt on that flat brush and joined it back up to the upper lid outer V section. I even went in with a stiff pencil brush to exaggerate the winged eye effect, creating more of a point and elongating the eye, also blending it so it doesn't become harsh. I cleaned up any eyeshadow overflow and made sure the lower lid matched up to the eyeshadow shape. Then I curled my eyelashes in preparation for L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara, and I coated my lower lashes in plenty of MAC Giga Black Lash Mascara. For false lashes, I chose one of my favorite styles from Girls with Attitude, called Cocoa, which I applied with the glue that comes in the box. To disguise the glue, I pressed some black eyeshadow along the lash band. I applied more mascara to blend my natural and false lashes. I quickly did my brows with the Revlon Brow Liner in Blonde, the Urban Decay Bathwater Blonde Brow Box, and Benefit Gimme Brow. I moisturized my skin with MAC Strobe Cream and primed with Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer through the center of the face, and used L'Oreal Lumi Magique Pure Light Primer around the edges of the face. I applied the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation in 51 Light Vanilla with a spritz of MAC Fix Plus and a damp beauty blender. I did my usual concealer deal, and before I powdered, I blended the NARS Illuminator in Copacabana onto my cheekbones and Cupid's bow, buffing the excess through the nose, forehead, and chin. And then I powdered the center of my face with the Hourglass Diffused Light Ambient Lighting Powder. I laid down a layer of Benefit Throb Blush before going in with plenty of the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in Rain over the top, and I'm using the Real Techniques blush brush for that. I buffed out the edges of the blush with MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Powder. And as usual, I strengthened my beauty spot with my eyebrow pencil. To finish the face, I used the Balm Mary Luminizer on the tops of my cheekbones for a nice highlight. I primed with MAC Prep and Prime Lip Base, and I lightly outlined my lips with NYX Lip Liner in Blackberry. I'm starting my lips with Jeffree Star Blue Velvet and I'm Royalty on the back of my hand to mix together a deeper blue-toned purple, and I filled in the perimeter of my lips with this shade using a lip brush. Then I went straight in with Blue Velvet to darken up the corners of the lips and slightly shade the edge. To complete my delightful gradient, I blended my lips together a little and then whipped out the Colored Rain lipstick in Dramatica and applied that to the remaining space in the center of my lips, making sure it merged with the liquid lipstick by chewing on the cud. Lastly, I removed the excess from the middle and I'm fucking done and ready to go. It was a little extra work and kinda hard to mix the colors to get the shades I was after to really match the album art, but it was worth it in the end because I really love this cover. When I was leaving the gig, another metalhead dude asked to take a picture with me and thought my makeup was cool, and it's always awesome to have your look appreciated. We had such awesome seats, so close to the stage and off to the side, and it was just an amazing experience. I really love Iron Maiden and their giant stage shows, so I hope you enjoy some of the gig footage at the end of the video. When I started playing in my first metal band, Iron Maiden songs were some of the first covers we ever played, and they're really awesome to do on bass. Steve Harris is really amazing, and it was awesome to see him up close. I've seen Maiden live a bunch of times, but this may well be their most fun gig I've been to. And damn, that was a huge Eddie. You'll see what I'm talking about when you watch the footage. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this album-inspired gig makeup tutorial. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Also check out my band and podcast on iTunes. And if you want to send me a letter or something, I have my PO box in the description box.
Michty Maxx.
To at least imagine that even if you weren't actually born or in the process of being born, at least some of the old cunts here tonight might have been in the process of conceiving you possibly to this song. And that would make you children of the damned! He's walking like a small child, but watch his eyes burn you away. past life, and it doesn't have much time. 'Cause at 5 o'clock they take me to the gallows pole. Yeah, the sands of time for me are running low.
Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast,
For it is a human number.
its number is 666.